Well, let's speak to Tara Dowdell about this. She's a Democratic and marketing consultant. She joins us from New York. Thank you very much, Tara, for being with us on Al Jazeera. So, just like in 2016, a faction of the Republican Party has emerged to try to defeat Donald Trump, and some are openly backing him, as we saw there, backing Biden, I should say. It didn't work 4 years ago. Do you think their effort will work this time around?
Well, I think that there's a lot of uncertainty around the effort because Donald Trump, despite this organization, and actually all of these groups making viral videos and viral commercials that have taken social media by storm, the rank and file, the base of the Republican Party is still with Donald Trump. So there's a lot of uncertainty as to whether or not this will have a significant impact on the election. But I will say this, from a Democratic perception, it definitely doesn't hurt. But I do think that what we're seeing from Republicans is that by and large, 85% are sticking with him. That's actually higher than the numbers that George W. Bush had in 2008 around this time. So I think that it's really hard to say that it's going to have a significant impact at this point.
You say the rank and file is still sticking with him, but former President George W. Bush and Senator Mitt Romney won't support Trump. His re-election. Colin Powell says he'll vote for Joe Biden. Why are these Republicans taking a stand against Trump now, do you think? Is it really about Trump's record or more about, the Senate race and saving the Republican Party?
Well, I think when it comes to someone like Colin Powell, he supported President Obama as well. So he's lately been trending towards supporting Democratic candidates. With respect to Mitt Romney, it's no secret that there's no love lost between him and Donald Trump. And also Mitt Romney's state of Utah has never been very supportive of Donald Trump. So that gives Mitt Romney some freedom that other senators feel that they don't have in terms of speaking out against Trump. But the issue is that those are just a few people. Here's the problem. The Republican Party, again, writ large, has not held Donald Trump accountable. There has been scandal after scandal, and they have continued to not only stand by him, but to actively help him defend against some pretty damning allegations of corruption and abuse of power.
Why is that, Tara? I mean, to our international audience, this might not be, something that they can understand and they can grasp. Why is it that these Republicans are still supporting and still standing by Donald Trump despite all these scandals, his handling of the coronavirus pandemic, the impeachment and so on? Why is that?
Well, there are several reasons, but not the least of which, at the end of the day, the biggest check against both parties is the base of those parties, the voters who put those elected officials into office in the U.S. And so what we've seen with the Democratic Party is that the Democratic Party has no problem telling Democratic politicians, hey, get out, we don't support you, and not supporting them. The Republican Party, on the other hand, has shown no interest in accountability against the Republican Party. So if you're a Republican, you see that, and you see that you can pretty much do almost anything, and your party is not, and the voters in your party are not going to vote you out. So unfortunately, that's created a crisis of accountability in the United States. And I think there's a long answer, and I don't know if we have time, but the Republican Party has spent a lot of time diminishing our media. So anytime the media points out these abuses of power, the handling of the coronavirus pandemic, novel coronavirus pandemic to be precise, every time they point these things out, the alleged bounty that Russia has placed on the head of American soldiers, all of these egregious examples of abuse, what happens is the Republican voters just shrug and say, we're standing by him. I mean, as I mentioned, his approval rating within his party for the first half of this year was 91%. And that's after a slew of different scandals that have been, most of which have been substantiated or corroborated in some way.
Right. Interesting to talk to you about this. Thank you so much for joining us, Tara. Tara Dowdell joining us there from New York. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Now, at least 34 people have been killed in southern Japan.